Uh, didn't have my notes. Here we go. Look, let me just revisit another let me just revisit a topic that just in will never stop fascinating me. It will never stop baffling me. It will never stop enchanting me. Uh,
Great.
everything that exists anywhere exists within the brain. Would you agree with that?
Like a tree exists in my brain, or like what
The
do you mean?
the universe as you perceive it
Uh-huh.
only exists to you within your brain. You aren't seeing the world around you. You're seeing reflected light from the world
Okay.
around you.
Sure.
You're not perceiving the world really. You're perceiving electrical stimulus caused by the world and interpreted by your brain,
Okay, let's go with that. I don't know that I'm like
right?
fully on board with that, but I'm going to go
From
along
a
with the
from
the
a from a certain perspective, from a
sure,
certain
right.
point of view,
Yeah.
all you're experiencing is being interpreted by your brain, and therefore you are subject to the fucking problems that can come with that.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
With me? The
Yeah.
curls, the knots, the walls, the peaks, the valleys of your brain are responsible for your ultimate experience of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes, externally as well as internally. Your external worldview, your self-image,
Mm-hmm.
your reason, your deduction, logic, creativity, the whole fucking your experience of the universe exists within your brain. And it's matter examining itself. When you think of that, when you
Mm-hmm.
realize that, it's insane and it's terrifying and it's wonderful that it
Right.
is matter examining itself.
Mm.
When it works, amazing. When it
Right.
doesn't,
Yeah. What a wonder.
fucking terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Disorders,
have definitely
delusions.
talked about those kinds of things over the years for sure. I'm with you.
Yes, and I often return to it. It's the source of all your well-being and the source of all your dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
I just to pull on that thread, I think it could be both argument for and proof against intelligent design.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, that's a
Because
valid
when
point.
it works
Mm-hmm.
spectacularly,
Yeah.
but when it fails magnificently.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was in New York City the other day, just walking along and walked past someone in the evening who was, an unhoused woman sitting on the, side of a building and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was talking into the air,
Yep,
to nobody in particular. And I was
yep.
kind of thinking about that, just, what's going on in her brain right now? What is she
Yes.
seeing? What is she processing?
Yes.
Because it's not,
Yes.
like you said, it's not the same thing that
Not the
I'm
same as
perceiving
you.
or processing.
No,
There's something
siree.
going on in there that it makes perfect sense for her to be speaking out loud about. But I can't perceive that at all. So
Yep.
what is, yeah,
That's
whatever's
exactly what
going
I'm
on
talking
in
about.
there. Yeah.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. Who's to say that my color green is the same as your color green?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Magenta doesn't
and
exist or whatever.
yeah, it's exactly this. And I bollocks to anyone who says to me that, the perfection and all the systems working in tandem of the human organism, that has to be the hand of the creator, because fuck
Hmm.
off. Because
Right.
fuck off. If that were true, then seizures, embolisms, tumors, strokes, learning disorders, developmental disorders,
Sweet
emotional
Mark, you're
disorders,
forgetting something very important. The
come on.
fall.
The fall.
The fall. That's why we're not perfect anymore because, the fruit in the Garden of Eden and all that kind of stuff that, gave us the knowledge of good and evil and created imperfect beings instead of us getting to live in the garden in perfection. That's why
Oh no,
our
that took a
systems don't
swerve.
work correctly.
I didn't know that. Is that
Mm,
is
yeah.
that the line? Is it? That's
It
the
is,
angle.
yes. That's also
So
why
had
childbearing hurts, right? That's one of the things it specifically says in the Bible is it increased a woman's pains in childbirth. Like everything that went wrong came from the fall.
had it not been for the serpent and the apple and all of that nonsense, we'd live. in perpetuity,
Imperfection.
in perfect health.
Hmm.
Oh, what horse shit is that?
Listen, I've
Talk
talked to you
about,
about this before, this idea of apologetics, right? Because there's so much
yeah,
that
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
take the Bible literally, you're like, it feels like that's not true or right. And so you just have to have explanations for it. And the fall covers
My God.
literally a multitude of sins, amongst those being, why are our bodies imperfect? It's because of
My
that.
God. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Delighted to learn it though. Um, but I mean, that horse shit aside,
Hmm.
um, I do look, however, whichever end of the roller coaster I'm on, I still love being human, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I, it's a real fucking treat. It's a good time on balance.
Hmm.
And look, a lot of that is my fascination with the brain. It's sensitive, it's mysterious, it's the most important thing on earth. It's the fucking it's what provide that jelly, that fucking blancmange, that pudding. That is the brief fucking crack of light between those oceans of nothing, right? That's what that is. It's that fucking brain.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. It is the entirety of your human existence, and it can lie to itself
Oh, boy, can it. In fact, it does all the time, whether there's something wrong
all
with
the
our
time.
brains or not. Just a
All the
regular
time.
functioning brain lies to you every single day.
Yep. And, not consciously,
Right?
but just as part of its little systems and processes, it can just
Hmm.
spin all sorts of bullshit to itself.
Right.
Wild. You know, we've covered delusions before. We've
Hmm.
covered, that the Cotard delusion when you think you're dead.
Right.
The Capgras when you think everyone is an imposter. Let me let me introduce you to another of these, if you don't mind.
All right, let's do it.
A beautiful little quirk of physiology known as Anton's syndrome or Anton-Babinski syndrome.
Okay.
Does the name ring a bell?
Not particularly, I don't think. No.
Okay. Okay, let me sketch it out for you.
Yeah,
By the
please
way,
do.
Psycho has just started on BBC Two, so that's beautiful.
Nice. Perfect.
The good one, the real one. Um, Not fucking Vince Vaughn wanking.
Oh boy. I love that. Like they made like a
Of
shot
all,
for shot remake and decided the one departure we needed.
we'll show him having a tug.
Yep.
Why? Anyway, Anton syndrome. So, firstly, super rare, right? Super rare. Less than
Mhm.
30 published cases of this worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah, less than 30 published. So,
Sure, but I'm sure
may
it's
well
not a
be.
ton more than that.
Nope. So, the condition shows itself in delusions often do, shows itself in patients who've suffered damage to a very specific area of the brain, right? Your occipital lobes. So
Sure.
we're at the lower back of the brain, just above the cerebellum, just above the spinal cord, the back kind of chunk of the blancmange, right? Um, it's when do you know what blancmange is, by the way?
I mean, I can reason it out, but no, I don't know it definitionally.
All right, blancmange is a kind of a milk-based pudding dessert.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. So I guess you'd call it jello. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Take
pudding.
jello and maybe add some like condensed milk to it and let it
Okay.
set. And it looks incredibly similar to brain matter. So,
Fascinating.
so
Okay.
anyway, Anton's. Um, if you've damaged that specific area of your brain, in some cases, it can lead to blindness. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
But important to define this. This is cortical blindness as opposed to ocular blindness. Your eyes are
Mm-hmm.
fine,
Right.
but your brain is damaged. So the vision centers of the brain are fucked, but not
Wild.
your eyes. Your eyes are fine. Very most commonly stroke damage that can cause this cortical blindness, but it can come about from complications from surgery, head trauma, MS, autoimmune disorders, any
It's
kind of
it's such a weird concept because it's kind of like, so you know how like when you get COVID, right?
yeah,
You often lose your sense of smell.
yes,
And
yes,
it's
yes,
like
yes, yes.
it's a brain issue, right? It's
Yep.
not There's nothing, you're not
Nothing wrong with your nose.
excessively clogged. There's nothing wrong with your nose
Nope.
itself. It's your brain that isn't
Hmm.
processing the smell right. And that's
Hmm.
why, some people, I was saying one of my friends has not had smell for 2 years as a
Yeah,
result
you said
of COVID. And,
wild.
and whereas for me it was like 2 days or something like that, that it was
Yeah.
gone. But that was to me wild because I felt like I should be able to fix it. I was like, okay, my brain is not processing being able to smell. I
Yeah.
have to be able to like train it to, right? Like I can coach it, but why would my brain can't just forget this? I
Yeah.
know what it means to smell.
Yeah.
Why can't I fix it?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
fact
All of
that
the
that can just,
equipment is there.
yeah,
All of the
all of
equipment
it's
works.
there. It's
Yeah.
functioning. It works,
Yeah.
but my brain isn't picking up what it's doing. And that idea is like, well, terrifying, the idea that
Mm.
like, all the pieces are working, but I can't do anything to fix that because my brain has just stopped doing it, stopped
Well,
carrying out that process.
interestingly, interestingly, you may find that lack of it's almost like the input equipment being knackered, but
Hmm.
being fine, but the CPU being knackered.
Right.
In
Yeah.
many cases, right, that leads to something known as anosognosia.
Okay.
Okay. Anosognosia, that is a condition whereby, because of damage to the receptors, to the pathways in the brain which deal with particular inputs of stimulus, your body is incapable of recognizing that you have the disability, right?
Okay.
So it is in Anton syndrome. The sufferer is blind, cortically blind, yet they don't realize it and will deny their blindness.
What?
Fucking right.
No way.
Patients who suffer from Anton syndrome, even though they will be functionally blind,
Yeah.
they will believe that they can see, and they
Huh.
will hallucinate or confabulate
Yeah.
responses to questions. Their brain will tell them that they can see, even though they are blind as fuck.
Whoa.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate.
Oh man, I have so
Just
many. I know
just
you're
deal
going to
with that a
explain.
little
So
bit.
I'm going to let you go because I have a lot of questions here, but
Yep.
I have a
Yep.
feeling you're already going to answer them. So I'm going to let you
Yep.
go, and I probably will interrupt, but go on.
So in terms of causes for this, right?
Yeah.
No definitive answer. Theories that there's maybe damage to the visual cortex, but no damage to the actual pathways to the eyes, which process the vision. So maybe your body is getting visual stimulus,
Yeah, it
your
has to
brain,
be, right? Like if your eyes are working, everything's coming in there.
but the CPU isn't. So your brain
Right.
can't process the input that it's getting. Other theories, maybe it's that the visual input isn't being processed, but the speech centers that are associated with visual inputs are still working fine. So
Right.
when you think about seeing, or when people ask you if you can see, your speech centers just fill in with any old shit, and you just say the shit that you think you should be able to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we've talked about how one of the things that we've learned about the brain is that sometimes a function can be rerouted
Yes.
and sort of end up being something that's
Yep.
supposed to be working
Neuroplasticity.
in,
Yep. Yep.
right,
We'll
something that's
just.
supposed to be working in one part of the brain,
Yep.
if something happens, sort of reroutes itself to be
Yep.
to work somewhere else.
Yep.
And so, maybe that's kind of what you're saying there. It's like it's sort of rerouted where that function is. In some way.
But the fact is, sufferers of Anton's refuse to accept evidence of their blindness and are adamant that they can still see, even though, uh, they're often diagnosed by just fucking bumping into
I was
shit.
gonna say, like, they have to like they
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah,
notice in
yeah.
their
Yes.
day-to-day life that they're just like, I don't know, is there something wrong with like my proprioception or something? Like I keep
Yeah,
running into things for some
yeah.
reason.
And they will confabulate memories of stuff that they've seen. They will confabulate, who's in the room with them.
Do they try to like
Test.
drive things
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
yeah, 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 yeah. 100%.
Wow.
Um, there have been, like I said, less than 30 documented cases. But tests, you hold out an item and ask the patient what it is, and they'll
And they have
just
no idea.
confidently make a guess of what it is. Oh yeah, that's a banana. And even when then told that they were wrong, they would still act as though the response was correct. They'll create, if you ask an Anton sufferer to tell you what they can see, they'll
Mhm.
describe in vivid, exacting detail the scene that they think is before them, even though they're blind.
It's like the exact opposite of my brain because of my aphantasia. I'm like, I don't see anything in there. So the
Yes,
idea that people like manage to
yes,
create an entire world in there is kind of hard to fathom for me.
exactly, exactly. And like I said, often being really vehement and really adamant that they can see just fine, even when presented with overwhelming evidence to the
Yeah,
contrary.
what's that
It's
about? Like,
it's a
because you
crit.
would think, like, I get, I get being like, holy shit, what you're telling me that's not what's there, but it's
Yeah,
wild to like then insist that you can see. Like, is everybody
it's only
fucking with you?
wild. It's only wild if you think about it as being an act of intentional deception, but it isn't. That sufferer
Right.
believes that they can see,
Yeah,
and
no, I
you're
get that. I just feel like if someone told me that I like everyone else is not seeing that, I
yeah,
would be like, well, fuck, I
yeah,
guess I can't see. You know, I wouldn't like
yep,
try to deny it. I'd be like, holy shit, that's interesting news. That explains why I keep running into things, you
yes,
know?
yeah, well, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a really kind of uh really pronounced disconnect
Hmm.
between what their blindness, visual impairment, and the experience that they're going to. Their subjective experience tells them in every way that they can see, and yet all the evidence, you know, tells them that they can't. Um, there's case studies all over the place. An elderly patient who had a stroke and would respond like really quickly to questions about the physical appearance and the clothing of the doctor in front of her, just
Hmm.
giving wildly incorrect answers. Um, when left kind of to their own devices to eat, they would kind of feel about and get utensils in front of them to eat, but would just spill food all over the place because they didn't, there was no
Yeah,
real visual input because they were fucking blind.
right.
But yet, as far as they're concerned, in their own head, in their own brains, they seeing just fine. Their brain is just making shit up to fill in the lack of visual stimulus because they're, their visual fucking centers in their brain are all fucked up. But the brain is
Huh.
just feeding them bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild as fuck.
I am yeah, this is one of the more like fascinating ones you've brought. I mean, they're all interesting, but I think
Mm,
this is particularly I don't know, to I think because for one, it's bananas that those connections can be severed in the first place, right? The
yes.
idea that, like I said, like with the, my being like, what the fuck? Why can't I smell when I know that my nose
Yeah.
works? You
Yeah.
know, the idea that like just something being amiss in the brain can make it so that like your eyes work, but they are useless
Yes.
is a bananas idea in and of itself. And then to add this other layer of a thing I don't understand because I don't see pictures in my brain of
Yes.
then filling in complete scenes, like whole scenarios with no gaps, right? Because if you had like, you know, you have to think you're constantly seeing, is what I'm saying,
Yes.
right? Like there's no
Completely.
point at which it's like, oh, the lights went out and
Hmm.
you don't see anything. In order to maintain this delusion, you must at all times
It's got to be
be
consistent,
walking
isn't it?
around with a consistent hallucination. So if you're
Yes.
walking down the street, you see a street and you
Yes.
turn a corner and you see that turn and the
Yes.
people and the cars and the
Yeah.
homes and all of that kind of
Until you
stuff
fucking bang into
uninterrupted
something or
until
until you
right.
fucking get hit by a car or whatever, your
Yeah.
brain is telling you every step of the way you can see just fine.
And then on top of that, it's like, oh man, that what is happening, what is the intermediary here? Is it like the brain reaching for neuroplasticity that it
That's a
can't
great,
quite
great
fix it,
question.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like I am trying to reroute these functions because eyeballs work.
yeah,
Light is coming in here.
Yes.
I can hear what's going on. All of the other senses are
Yeah.
working.
I'm aware someone is speaking to me, so I'm making a picture of what I imagine they
Right.
should look like.
Right, exactly. And there's just like this one broken thing, and your brain is just like, with it,
Yeah.
how can we make this work? But we can't properly do that, you
Yes.
know?
And there are instances, plenty of instances in journals of it because it's reversible. It's not a one-way street.
Okay.
If you're able to treat the underlying cause of the blindness, so if it's a stroke issue, then dealing with what the underlying
Right.
factors are. If whatever actually caused that damage to that part of the brain in the first place, if you can treat that effectively and restore some of the vision, it just goes away and
It
you got
just
your sight
it's
back and
fine.
and you,
Did
your
they
brain.
did you see anything where they talked to someone that it had been reversed in? Because
No.
okay, because that would be really interesting. Is like, okay, when they turn the lights back on you, do you
Mm.
go, oh, this
Well,
room looked
fuck.
different
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before?
Because see,
Holy shit, you know?
because all too often it's a complication of something like stroke, of something like a
Right.
degenerative condition. By nature, that tends to happen in older patients.
Right. Yep.
A lot of sufferers, are kind of 75, 80, 90-odd-year-old people, who may not have
Mm,
a great deal to come back to anyway.
right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
there are cases of this happening in hypertension cases. There's
Hypertension.
oh yeah, totally, totally. If it causes a
Oh.
brain bleed,
Uh-huh. Oh,
you know.
okay. Yeah.
There was a case I read about of a girl who developed blindness and then Anton syndrome after a traumatic abortion.
Oh, wow.
You
Okay.
know, anything that can cause uh a traumatic kind of impact on the brain,
Yeah,
which
probably
can
like
damage that.
aneurysm, things like that. Yeah.
Exactly, embolism, exactly, exactly, exactly. But if you can treat that root cause and have an impact on the vision, then the Anton goes away and you've got control again. Your brain cuts the bullshit because it doesn't need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Mm,
of all things, it's interesting because on the one hand, like if you knew, if you accepted that this
yeah,
was a thing you had, so then you didn't
yeah,
endanger yourself as a
yeah,
result of it, right?
yeah.
Like didn't go out and just try to keep living your life like you can walk out into traffic and know what's happening. It I don't know. I was gonna say like it might be kind of a nice thing because you still can see as opposed to
Mm.
like the trauma of not being able to see anymore, but not
Uh,
having control over what you see
so
and
let
knowing
me
you're
ask,
perceiving wrong might be terrible too.
if I ask you then to picture a cow,
Hmm.
what happens? Can you just imagine a cow for me?
No. Like it's hard to explain because it's like I could tell you what a cow looks like verbally.
Yeah,
It's
of
not that
course,
like
of
there's,
course. You
but I
can
don't
draw
have
upon your
like a
memories and experiences of a cow.
right. Like
You know what a cow looks like.
and I would, if I saw one, I'd be like, that is a cow.
Yes.
But there's nothing in my head, which is one of the reasons why, like, you know how much I like to draw, but I'm not like I have to have a reference to draw
Yes.
something because
Yes.
literally, if I
Oh, I
turn away
see.
from the reference, I do not remember
Wow.
what it looked like to be able to draw it. So it's there's nothing comes back up in my head. I have to actively be looking at something or it's gone. There's nothing for me to draw from. Uh so yeah,
God, this is interesting to me.
I've
So
always
you
thought
you
like yeah, that's why I don't draw well is because I simply can't. If you told me to draw a cow right now with no reference, I could not do that.
I'd like you to try
You want me to try to draw a
for
cow?
me. Yeah, no, maybe not right now, but I think hey, this is content, mate. Maybe at some point in the future, because
At some point we'll
I'm
try.
closing my eyes right now.
You see
There's
a
a cow
cow.
right in front of me, and she's lovely, and I want to give her a cuddle, and she's got lovely hair, and she's warm,
Oh.
smells a bit, but she's a cow.
That
But you
sounds
can't
really
do that.
nice. No, I
Yeah.
can honestly, I can drop a smell much better than I can do a
Wow.
sight, a feeling, a smell, a sound, those kinds of things, no problem. But visually, there's nothing going on up there.
And is there a name for that again? Tell me again what that's called.
Aphantasia.
Aphantasia.
Yeah.
Well, then this is almost like an
It's the
inverse of
reverse.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's having no visual stimulus, but
Yeah.
your brain. See, And you talk about the evidence to the contrary, despite bumping into stuff and people telling you you're blind. In Cotards,
Hmm.
I'm moving my hand. Obviously, it's not dead, but
Right.
yet
Yeah.
everything in my senses tells me that this body part has died and is rotting.
Yeah.
I know that this is my mum or my best mate, but the visual evidence tells me this, but everything about me, everything
Yeah.
inside me tells me that they are not. They're an imposter. This is the same. I'm
Mm.
blind as fuck, but my brain will not
Yeah.
accept
It's
it
just
and is
not going
telling
to
me I
allow
can
that to be
see
reality.
and is filling my mind with the visions that it thinks I ought to be seeing.
Mm.
That's so cool, isn't it?
It is. It's cool and confusing and
Yep.
just like you said in the beginning of this is what, is so fascinating about the brain. We perceive things a certain way
Yes.
and to a degree we don't know that everyone perceives things anything like how we
Yep.
perceive them, right?
Yep.
Like there is no singular bit of evidence that says that we all think humans look the same or anything like that or perceive colors the same or anything like that. Like we
Yeah.
we don't know that, but we kind of think we do.
Yes.
Um and then something like this comes in and screws with it and hey, from a philosophical perspective, right? Like who's to say that that perception maybe we've all got it wrong and they are
Exactly.
actually peering
Exactly.
behind whatever weird barrier of perception we've put up that makes us see things weird.
Oh, look, it's a thread you really can pull on. I
Yeah.
mean, when you're dreaming, you don't know you're dreaming.
Right.
When you're in a dream, you don't, it feels real. So who's to say?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who's to fucking say?
Uh, I like it, but I don't like it.
I love it and I hate it in equal measure. But this is this is why I'm so fascinated by
Mm-hmm.
this fucking brief crack of light. That's why
Yeah.
it's so fucking fun. Because
Mm.
as fleeting as life is, it can still go wrong in so many fucking ways.
It's a
You know,
great moral of the story, Mark.
it
Like,
really
listen,
is.
life is short and also it can be terrible.
Yes,
And
that's
you
the
never know when it
pathos.
might happen.
The pathos is huge. It's brief and it's fleeting and it's cruel and it can also go badly wrong through no fault of your own.
Yeah, I would like, I don't want anything bad to happen to me, obviously. I
No.
feel like brain things are definitely on the top of the list of please don't let that happen.
Yeah. Well, I hope I hope no bad brain things happen to you. I
Thank you.
like you enough to be openly happy to say that.
I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you.
Good.
You want to take us in?
Oh, I'll bring us in. All right. You might enjoy this.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I was fucking about with the boys earlier on, just asking GPT weird shit, right? And seeing what ridiculous fucking nonsense it comes out with, right?
You should not talk to that robot.
No, not in any kind of, deep or meaningful way. We were,
Uh,
in fact, it was kind of a hidden lesson on information literacy. We were just asking it
nice.
the most basic fucking questions and looking at all the ways in which it was wrong.
Nice.
Um, but it was a Sunday, so I asked GTP, what can you tell me about the podcast Jack of All Graves?
Ooh,
Right? You're gonna like
nice.
this.
Okay.
Jack of All Graves is a horror themed podcast that delves into a wide range of topics related to fear, folklore, true crime, and the macabre. Right? So
Okay.
far, so good.
Yeah,
So
all
far,
right.
so
Hit it.
good.
Yep.
It goes off the rails real quick. The podcast is co-hosted by Mark Lewis, a film and TV producer based in the UK,
Okay. Nice.
and
Upgrade.
Corrine McCaffrey.
Now, hold on.
Corrine McCaffrey, an, an American writer and academic. Corrine McCaffrey,
How? How does that happen? How does
CRINE McCaffrey, McCaffrey. Corrine McCaffrey, an American writer and academic. So
how
I'm
does
uh,
GPT mishear my name? Like
fuck
how
knows.
does that happen?
A film and TV producer based in the UK, and Corrine McCaffrey, an American writer. The rest of it is pretty bang on,
Okay.
actually. They
Go on,
bring a
let's hear
blend
it.
of They bring a blend of humor, insight, and deep curiosity to each episode, making it both entertaining and informative. Super complimentary.
Yeah,
The
thanks,
title, Jack of All
ChatGPT.
Graves, plays on the phrase Jack of all
It
trades,
does.
indicating that the show covers a broad spectrum of subjects, often centered around things that go bump in the night or otherwise disturb the peace. The hosts discuss everything from classic horror films to bizarre and unsettling historical events, obscure urban legends, and the psychology of fear. It's actually does quite a good job. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's
episode,
picking up all the ways in which we have described it on the
yes, yeah,
internet.
that's true. It closes. Listeners of Jack of All Graves appreciate the podcast for its ability to explore dark and sometimes creepy subjects while maintaining a sense of humor and approachability. It's a great listen for fans of horror, true crime, and the weird and wonderful aspects of life. That's
Now
great.
they've gone into our reviews, obviously,
Maybe so,
there.
yes. I'd like to meet this Corinne McCaffrey.
I know, I'm sure she is very sexy and educated.
With great
She sounds
shoulders
like a
and
treat. Oh, that's good. I love that.
such fun. Yes. Hey, listen, how you doing?
I'm doing
And how are
sweaty.
you doing, listeners? Oh, you're
Yeah,
sweaty, did you say?
I'm sweaty.
L-
But good. I'm finished more or less after this. I'm going to finish and turn in my last thing for my work training that's been going for 3 weeks, and that will be
Nice.
beautiful. I have been to the films a few times.
Mm.
I am, just stoked. Also, what's crazy is that, like, normally I'm a big like birthday gal, right? I'm like, I have a birthday month instead of
Yeah, I
just
know
like
this.
celebrate my
Well, you
birthday.
gotta,
I'm
you
like
gotta
real
hail
into
yourself.
it.
You gotta do
Yeah,
it.
right. Exactly that. Heading into the last birthday of my 30s and all that kind of
Mm.
stuff. And I have like thought zero about it because we have the meetup at the end of the month. And so all my like energy has gone into that. And then I was like, oh shit, it's my birthday in like 2 weeks or
Well,
somewhere in there.
you're gonna have a great bunch of lads to celebrate with.
Yes, a belated celebration.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to think of like what I want to do now. I mean, I've already got stuff planned out around it. Like, uh, there's an Empire Records musical that
Oh,
has opened, and so we're gonna go see
seems like the
that.
kind of thing you'd enjoy.
Yes, very up my alley. So we're gonna go see that. I also Crowded House is playing at this amazing venue.
Mm.
Mark, you would love this place. This is so New York and so gorgeous. It is the rooftop at Pier 17, I think it is. And I saw Nickel Creek here last year, and it is literally underneath the Brooklyn Bridge.
That
So you
sounds
have this
beautiful.
incredible view behind the stage of the bridge. It's, outdoor, really nice. And the disabled section has its own little bar, so I can go get my
Mm.
little colas and all that kind of stuff. And it's a really nice view from that section, which is wonderful. And so I got myself a solo ticket to go see Crowded House at this
Wonderful.
place and just
Yeah.
enjoy myself a
I
few
have
days for
time
my
for Crowded
birthday.
House. I think they have some wonderful, wonderful songs.
They really do. I was surprised the other day when we were recording our snack that I
Mm.
started, idly singing a Crowded House song, and you
Hmm.
went with it. I was like, hey,
Yes, good
okay.
band.
I freaking love Crowded House. One of my like really proud moments was that, I used to every now and again do like a little cover and post it on YouTube, but just so I could post it to Facebook for my friends to see.
I've
And
seen
I
some of those.
I did one of their songs, and Neil Finn posted it to his socials. I was
Oh,
like, this
oh,
is
that is nice. Yes, that
this is
is
the
nice.
greatest thing that has ever happened to me as a giant Neil Finn stan. I listen to his other projects too. Pajama Club and all kinds of stuff like that. I listen to his son's
Mm.
stuff. I'm a Finn stan all the way through. So that was a
The
big moment
whole
for me.
Finn family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How you doing, Mark?
Look, hey, I mean, I am ready for my holiday. I'll tell you that.
Love that. To
And
Bulgaria.
yes, um, but look, you're the only person who's responded with confusion and befuddlement when I say I'm
This is
going to
definitely
Bulgaria.
okay. Every American that I've mentioned this to has been like, Bulgaria? So I think it's
Yeah,
just we don't consider that a destination.
but every Brit who I've mentioned it to has gone, oh yeah, apparently it's really nice. Apparently it's taken off recently. So
Yeah, this cultural differences. This is a place that no
Yeah.
American would think to go.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there are signs, aren't there, when you're ready for a break?
Oh,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
there are definite signs. I'm snapping at my colleagues in work,
Yep.
and I really am, right? I behaved like an absolute dick to some people
Uh,
on Friday.
no good.
Uh, that said, they didn't do something that I asked them not to, to do. So,
Right. Meh,
you know,
may have been a
but
little deserved.
but yeah, I'm quite short-tempered, quite snappy at work. It's been quite a challenging summer. Um, like I said, I think I might have mentioned to you earlier on that Marco's hierarchy of needs isn't getting dealt with at all this summer
Right.
because the kids are demanding and work is fucking ridiculous and various other bits and bobs. So I'm ready for a break. I'm doing
Yep.
okay. I'm coping.
Is it
But I'm
harder now that the kids are older? Like, do they actually need like a little more from you in the summer than they did when they were younger?
yeah. Um maybe I was being naive. Maybe I
Hmm.
was being idealistic in thinking that as they got older they would tend to one another
Right.
and and fend for one another and always be on one another's side and play with one
Mm.
another and just stimulate and creatively kind of, just have one another's backs. But what they do instead is they kind of play Minecraft together for 10 minutes and then fucking argue and Owen inevitably ends up crying because, Owen.
Because
Um,
little brother.
because yeah. But so yeah, that's been challenging and I've just I've felt like I'm spread quite thinly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But on the other hand,
Hmm.
I'm exercising where I can.
Love that.
I'm My behaviors are remaining wholesome,
Love
you
that.
know?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm doing okay. But that said, I'm ready for a break. I'm ready for a
Yeah,
fucking
it's
holiday.
definitely time to just chill out, go to
Yes.
the pool,
Exactly
maybe
this.
put some sunscreen on that head of yours and get a tan.
Yeah, yeah.
You always stress
Exactly.
me out every time you go on vacation and come back like covered in mosquito welts and sunburn. I'm like, these things are
Well,
preventable.
I'm suffering from a delusion whereby my body refuses to accept that it's bald and 46.
Right.
I've damaged my fucking cortex somewhere and I still have a full head of hair and I'm in my early 20s. And despite
Yeah,
overwhelming
you'll be
physical
bounced back.
evidence to the contrary. But yeah, maybe this will be the year that I wise up and actually put some fucking Pizbuin on my fucking head.
Yeah, some what?
Pizbuin, it's a brand of suntan lotion.
Piz buoying?
Right. Now I'm fucking questioning myself. Hang on. Do.
I mean, you're probably right. It's just not like the most appealing name of anything that I've ever heard in
Pizbuin.
my
There you
life.
go. Yep.
How do you spell
Moisturizing.
that?
Piz.
Okay.
New word. Buin.
UIN. All right.
Yeah. Didn't
I'm
make it
gonna
up.
accept it. I
Uh
wasn't accusing you of making it up. It's just not a brand name I would come up with. It's like every now and again you hear a brand and you're like, why'd they pick that?
yeah, he's made that up. Yeah.
Not what I would have chosen to advertise my product. Like there's one, oh man. Oh, like there's a men's supplement here that they have commercials for all the time, and it usually has like retired sportsmen in it. Like I think like Joe Montana, who's an NFL player who was big in the 90s,
Yeah.
does these. Like, it's all this like, get your testosterone pumping and you're gonna be a
Joe
manly man
Montana.
again.
Was he the Bears?
I- Maybe I want to say Dolphins, but I'm
Okay.
not sure. I
Okay.
do not follow football.
NFL. NFL had a fucking huge phase of being wildly popular over here like 15 years
Yeah, I
ago.
mean, I feel like it's much like wrestling, where it's like there
Mm.
was just a period where it didn't matter who
Yeah.
you were or where you were, you just
Yeah.
knew about it. And I think, yeah, football at that point when he was big was huge. Um, and but anyway, the product is called Nugenics.
Ooh,
Like,
yikes.
why?
Fucking
Why did
yikes.
you
That
call
sounds
it that?
Nazi as fuck.
Right? Every time I hear it, I'm like, what? Why? It's so wild to
Yeah.
me. It's all the names in the world for your
Hermann
manly
Goering's
man
male fucking
supplement,
supplement of choice. Yeah.
and you went with Nugenics.
My favorite over-the-counter health aid is there's a particular brand of arse cream over here, like hemorrhoid cream, called
I
Anusol.
think we have that one too.
Yeah, Anusol.
It's like it's just built to make you not want to go to the counter
It
with
really
it.
is. Come on. You
Like
talk about the importance of men's health. Make it fucking easy. Don't call it fucking Anusol.
they just like going up to the counter and the cashier just being like, "Can we get a price check on the anusol?" Like there's no plausible deniability here. It's for my
Yeah.
cat. Uh, oh, it's
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, yes.
Yeah, there's also another one that I can't think of exactly what it is, but ACIPHEX.
And
Ass
effects.
effects.
Oh no.
And I don't know what it's for, but every time I'm like looking down, like, because there's a lot of medicine commercials during like Jeopardy, because it shows for old people, or it
Yep.
used to be anyway. And you're looking down a bit, Ass effects. Sorry.
Um, a, a a type of American commercial, as you would say, that we simply don't have really over here. And it seemed to be every other, when we were in the Caribbean a couple of years back,
Oh
and the
yeah.
kids were fucking just fascinated with fucking Game Show
As they
Network or
should be.
whatever it
It's
was
the
called.
best.
Loved it. And we all got sucked in the evenings. We would just watch fucking episode after episode of Family Feud.
Yes, that's what
Um,
it's made for. Like that's why I love GSN is it's like everyone can gather around and sit and just like
yeah,
house episodes of Family
yep.
Feud forever.
But every other ad break was like fucking Tom Selleck or somebody. Uh,
Reverse mortgages.
exactly this, exactly this. Tom Selleck and his fake grandkids. Uh,
Yes.
I'm able to give something back. You're Tom Selleck. You're fucking Magnum. You don't tell me you've got to hawk your house
Right?
while
Yeah.
you're still alive. But yeah,
That
that's one
actually he
thing we
does
don't
the
have.
same ads that Alex Trebek from Jeopardy used to do. I think
Mm,
it's Colonial Penn, something like that. Yeah. It is amazing those guys that you're like, surely like you couldn't have been that bad with your money that you have to be doing these
yeah.
commercials. Like, really?
Uh,
But I don't know.
interestingly, second time I've mentioned Magnum PI this week.
Oh,
Owen Owen he's got a new set of pajamas that are kind of Hawaiian looking and fucking look at Magnum PI over there. He had no
he's
idea what I was talking about,
no
obviously,
frame of reference for that at all. I
because
think
he's
there's
10.
currently a Magnum PI show on right now. Uh
Yeah, I did see that it had a remake.
I've never seen it, but it's on CBS, so it'll run for 37 seasons. And if you ask a 50-year-old woman from Wisconsin, she'll have watched every episode.
Tell you a recent remake that was way better than I had hoped was Quantum Leap. Very good.
Oh yeah. Is that over? Is it still going?
Sadly cancelled. It lasted 2 seasons.
Mm,
Um, but it had the spirit of the OG nailed. It was
man, I love that
bang
show.
on.
I did
Really
want to
cool.
watch this one, but I'm terrible at watching like network television. Just hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll watch it someday when it's on a streaming service. But there's like channels that still play old Quantum Leap,
Uh-huh.
and as a result, every now and again, it's just like it's such comfort food to
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
into an episode of that. Although like 75% of the time that comfort food leaves me crying at some point
Oh,
during the episode. But
I
you know.
vividly, vividly, vividly remember the gut punch that final episode had on me.
Hmm.
It devastated me, man. I sobbed.
Yeah.
I must have been like 16, maybe 15,
Sure.
16. And it absolutely fucking ruined me.
Yeah. It's one that I can remember being, I mean, I was obviously very young at
Yeah,
this
yeah.
point, like 9 or, somewhere in that vicinity, and being amongst the early things to, yeah, absolutely devastate me. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
And
oh, my
huge
heart
ideas
hurts
as
from
well. This
TV.
fucking massive metaphysical concepts thrown at
Mhm.
you in that last episode. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, super affecting, really cool.
Yeah, I love Quantum Leap very much.
How many weeks is it
Uh,
until I come to that room that you're in now?
ooh, that's a very good question. We are 1 month
Ooh,
and 8 days until you get
wicked.
here. Isn't that wild?
That is good. Did you? I didn't see you pull up anything to look at there. Did you have that in memory?
There's a the date is in the corner of my computer. That's
Okay.
what I was
Okay.
staring
I
at.
see. I see. I see.
Wasn't, no, absolutely not. Because we know I'm not picturing anything. I was
No, that's
looking
true.
at the calendar. Um, yeah, and in preparation for that, of course, we have a watch along coming, specifically
Yes.
one last NYC
Yep.
themed watch along for Mark
So
before he gets here to see it in person for the first time in 30 years.
31st of this month. It's a Saturday. It's a week Saturday, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah, August the 31st. NYC themed watch along. What are the big NYC horrors? What comes to mind
There's
when I
so many, like it's so
but
hard
what do
to
you
list.
such as
Well, I mean, you just watched what are the ones with Belial in
basket
it?
case? Yeah, yeah,
Basket
yeah.
Case, obviously. You've got your Ghostbusters, of course.
Yes.
You've
Driller
got
Killer, I want to say.
probably, I don't, is
I'm
Driller
pretty
Killer
sure
New York?
uh, I
I'm not
think it
sure.
might be.
Okay, maybe. I feel like honestly, when I turn on a horror movie from the like 80s or 90s, if it's not like something that's set at like a summer camp or in a mall, it is probably New York City. Like, I'm
Yeah.
constantly turning things on and being like, oh, it's another New York horror movie. So the possibilities seem endless here. Trying to find a
Um
list of New York horror.
no, I want to see if Driller Killer is.
Oh,
Yep,
you're looking at.
it is indeed late
Oh,
70s New York.
nice. Okay, there
There
you
we go.
go.
Yes.
Uh yeah, so we're going to be looking for suggestions from all of yous on this. And we're going to try, I was telling Mark before this that at book club the other day, which was wonderful, of course,
Was this
um
Mayfly?
Mayfly, which I ended up not liking, um
Okay.
but lots of people did. And honestly, this is one of the things I love about the book club is that like we can be on like complete opposite ends of the spectrum on
Yes.
what we think of a book and just end up having like an amazing conversation as a
See,
result.
that's the great thing
Mm-hmm.
about self-aware,
Yeah.
fucking highly erudite and
Mm-hmm.
you know, educated, fucking smooth, handsome people that listen to our show, you know. You can
Indeed.
hold conflicting ideas and discuss them both
Right.
without getting pissy, you know, and
Yes,
without going out
exactly.
and
Taking it
having a
personally
riot.
or
You
anything
can
like
just
that.
talk things through, think things through, examine things, you know,
Mm-hmm.
hold
100%.
an idea and sit with it and fucking sniff it and check it out.
Yeah. And I think Mayfly really lent to that with this book because of kind of different interpretations of it and all that
Mm.
yeah, were really fun to talk about coming from differing perspectives on, how well it pulled off the things that it was doing and what it was trying to do in and of itself as a question. So we were where was I going with this?
Who's it by?
CJ Lead or Leedy,
All right.
Leede, I think. Um, there are
It's not
things
like
I
me.
think you would like about it. I really like the first third of the book, and then it kind of lost me. But
Just without spoiling anything, just give me a one line. What's the premise?
um, it is okay. A woman who plays a basically a character from Frozen at Disneyland, although of course they can't say that for legal
Of
reasons,
course. Yeah.
um, is secretly harboring various sociopathic
Okay.
inclinations. That's kind of the base. It's basically kind of like female American Psycho,
That is
essentially.
exactly the vibe that
Yeah.
I got. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
in many ways, it's got a lot of influences, and amongst them is definitely clearly American Psycho. I think that's like the best way to describe it is kind of
Hmm.
it's if Patrick Bateman were a woman who worked at Disneyland, essentially.
That's actually a really good pitch.
It is, yeah, it
Mm.
really is. So what I was going to say about this is that people in the book club were saying that when we post things in the Facebook group, thanks to the good old Facebook algorithm, a lot of times they don't see it for like 5 or 6 days after we've posted things.
Right.
Which of course, one of my suggestions, folks, is make sure that you like do the little settings thing and try to, say you want to see posts from like a lot of posts from the Jack of all Graves group so that it
Oh, why
doesn't
wouldn't you?
filter them out.
They're all good as fuck.
They're all good. So, if you want to make sure that you see them and that the algorithm doesn't filter them out, make sure that you select that so that you see them. But
And I would just like to reiterate that I am always super grateful and really validated and just proud when people come to our Facebook group with the stories that they've found across the
yeah,
internet, or the fucking
100%.
fucked up thoughts that they've had on a Tuesday afternoon, you know what I mean, that they jump on and
Right.
share that with us. So
Yeah,
please carry
totally.
on doing that because I fucking love our Facebook community. It's always a source of real fun for me. So yeah, thanks to everyone who contributes, and please
Yeah.
continue to do so.
I love the idea of like, people have always had that, where do I go with this fucked up thing?
Yeah. Yes.
Who do I
You
tell
go
this
here. You
to?
come to us
It's
because we
yeah.
want it.
You now have a place to put that thing that you cannot share around the water cooler or talk to your
Yeah.
partner about or anything like that. It is the
Yes.
Jack of all Graves Facebook group. And yeah, I really enjoy that too. But
Your
so we're going to
friends
try to
Mark
put
and
the
Corrine McCaffrey.
exactly. We're gonna try to put the poll up a little bit earlier, just so that people and like make it last a little longer than the 24 hours, just so that people have a chance to vote in it who don't get to see the poll until it shows up on
Yeah.
their timeline 4 or 5 days later.
Yeah.
So we will keep an eye out for that. We will put the poll up, and you will be able to pick. But yeah, till that point, give us your suggestions. If you have a New York City
Yes.
movie that you think we should absolutely watch as a crew, pop that into the Facebook group or Instagram
Rent.
comments or in our Discord. We're not great at checking our Discord, but I will eventually see it. I'll make sure one of us checks it before the poll goes up. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah. Yep.
31st, August 31st.
So book club, we put a snack up this week, did we not?
We did put a snack up. I went a little crazy on the graphic. I was just having a fun time with that. So it's a little over the top. But our first snack to the future, in which we talk about Running Man, is up on the Ko-Fi for anyone who supports at A25 or higher. So we thank you for doing the right thing
Yes.
and supporting this
Yeah.
podcast. This is always because we started this podcast at the end of August. This is the time of year where all the like subscriptions to everything come up. And so it's, $150 here for this, $150 there for that, stuff like that. And so it's really clutch that people support us. And I have a way to pay off all of the many hosting things and places that we
Mm.
keep our videos and storage and all that stuff. That is all
Does that mean
thanks
we're
to
coming up to a birthday then? We must be,
we
mustn't
are.
we?
In fact, it might be the 31st. One of
Oh.
these years I will remember, but I'm pretty sure it's like the 30th or 31st is our first
And is this our
episode.
fourth birthday?
Fourth birthday.
Fucking insane.
Crazy, right? It's
Insane.
wild because,
Insane.
Hannah, we've said before, has been listening back through the
Oh,
whole
wow, yeah.
catalog, right? And she's been doing this for months. And she said that she does this for 8 hours a day, 3 days a week. And she is now almost exactly a year behind where we are. And it is bananas that we have talked that much.
That's crazy.
And that someone would listen to it for that matter, but that we
So
have spent that many hours
just
talking.
to super quickly crunch some numbers here, right? If we let's just say that like we do 2 hours an episode roughly,
Okay.
and we're on how many episodes? 190 odd.
194.
So I'm just gonna tap into my little quantum computer here. Uh, so there's something like 400 odd hours of us conversing out there.
That's a lot of hours.
That's fucking mad shit. Isn't it?
That is a ton of hours. And many of you have listened to every single one of those hours.
Yeah.
You guys are the MVPs. That's for sure.
Yeah, Hannah.
It's impressive because I don't know that anyone has started from the beginning this far in. We've definitely had people who have like for sure marathoned everything but not
Yeah.
this far into it. So that
Yeah.
is some dedication, and
It really is.
hats off.
I think Hannah deserves some kind of
Yeah, like a
badge.
prize. Yeah, a
Yeah,
badge
yeah, yeah.
or yeah,
Or a
something of that
reward.
nature.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Uh,
We'll figure out what you get at the end of binging
apart
nearly
from,
200 episodes of this.
you know, apart from
Existential dread.
upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, because Mark is going on vacation to Bulgaria next week,
Jeez.
so it's not
Really
over.
not that funny.
It's- I'm sorry. Hollywood Steve and Anna Martin are coming to fill
Yes.
in next week, and it should be a wonderful time with our
Yep.
darling Hellrankers crew before we all meet up
Yeah.
to have a wonderful time in September. It's always a blast having each of them. We've never had both of them at the same time.
Mm,
So it should be fun. I'm gonna see this week if one of them wants to cold open or not. Steve has never cold opened on this show, so
nice.
that could be kind
Okay.
of fun. But I will check in with them. But either way, it's gonna be a super fun Joag with the Hellrankers.
Yes, it'll be a trip down memory lane with Anna in the co-presenting seat again. Be
Exactly.
lovely.
Which about this time last year she relinquished back to you. So
Yep.
be fun.
Ah, man. Such a lot of memories, Corri.
We've a lot has happened in the 4 years
It
that we've
has.
been doing this thing.
Yep. I don't, was it on the Running Man snack a couple of days back when I was, you know, looking at early YouTubes
Mhm.
and I'm unrecognizable.
Do you think?
I do, yeah. I mean, I'm not the same fucking guy I was 4 years ago,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
A lot has changed for me, and I don't know. I wonder if I were to listen to some of those early episodes,
What you'd
what
think of you.
impression I would get of that fellow,
Yeah, totally.
you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's interesting.
Obviously I'm not gonna do that,
Right.
you know?
But
Ugh.
theoretically, there's no way to possibly know what you'd think of that, Mark. It's impossible, but what a thought experiment.
Yeah. I'm wondering, how long do podcasts last on average? I mean, if we've
I
done
think
four
we
years,
figured that out very early on, and it's not very long. It's like 7 episodes or something like
oh,
that.
that's incredible.
Yeah. So I remember like once we got to 10, like you were like, whoa, this is like the longest I've done anything. And also you looked up stats and were like, oh yeah,
Yeah, here we
podcasts
go.
don't generally
90%
last.
of podcasts don't get more than 3 episodes.
Crushed it.
Yes, indeed. Very much so.
Yeah, so we're still kicking with no plans to slow down, just more plans to hang out with our dear friends and hang out
Yep.
with each other and be
Yep.
beefs.
Yep. I mentioned, I think it was last week that I mentioned Elm Street turning 40. There's a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic 4K release of Elm Street
Ooh.
finally coming up in September. They've whoever's releasing it now has gone all in on a 4K Blu-ray with, a lovely package with art and fucking new commentaries and a steelbook and postcards and all that good shit. Uh
It's
so I'm
probably
just
for the best that we have no 4K TVs in this house because otherwise I
mm,
would spend lots of money on things like that.
well, I've talked to you about my shelf before, my philosophy of the shelf, and if it's on the shelf, then it's got to be special because shelf space is
Hmm.
limited.
It's
So
true.
if it's up there, it's got to have a damn good reason to be up there. And I'm already looking at my shelf from here right now to see
Seeing
what I
what's going to
can
get
bump.
squeezed.
Yeah, something's gonna get bumped for that
Mm.
box set because it
An
looks beautiful, fucking gorgeous.
it's an important decision.
And do you know what? Three people separately who've seen Romulus
Mm.
have all commented to me that Fede has now he is number one in the fucking fans' choice
Mm.
to step up and deliver
Yeah.
a new Elm Street.
Oh, absolutely.
Can
100%.
you imagine? Do you know, I thought of this earlier on today in the kitchen while I was fucking loading the dishwasher, right? And I got goosebumps on my arm imagining
Ooh.
it being announced. If that were to be a thing, if that were to be his next move, or even like one or two down the line, I would oh it would change the course of my life if that went
Yeah,
to happen.
basically.
It would be the most beautiful thing.
Oh man, we can, yeah, definitely hope for that. I don't think
Mm.
that's out of the realm of possibility by any
It's
stretch
not,
of
is
the
it?
imagination.
It's not.
He's done Evil Dead, he's done Texas, he's done this. Like, why not?
I think he produced Texas. I don't think he
Did he not
directed that one.
did he
No,
not
he
direct
didn't direct
Texas?
it.
Oh,
No,
okay,
he
fair
didn't.
enough.
He did not. Which I'm
Who
glad
did?
of. I don't think it was anyone of any
Oh, okay.
big renown. Uh, he was definitely a producer, but it was
Mm,
directed by David Blugathia.
nope, not
Ring any
familiar.
bells?
I don't think so.
Let's see. Nah, nothing that I would recognize.
Okay, fair enough. Well, still, yeah, I think it's completely within the realm of possibility that we'll see that.
It really
And
is.
getting
It seems
into,
really plausible, doesn't it?
yeah, just to transition straight into what we watched since we're talking
Yeah,
Romulus, obviously, I'm not going to say a ton about it because you're not seeing it until tomorrow.
yeah,
But I absolutely loved it. I went and the local theater, the indie theater that I usually go to
yeah,
has like not huge screens in it. And I was like, this is like a big screen movie. So while I was in Manhattan the other day, I went and saw it in IMAX
yes.
and oh, it was absolutely worth it.
Oh,
It was phenomenal to just be completely immersed in it. It was terrifying. First time in a long time I've been in a theater where people screamed multiple times during the movie, like actually let out screams because they were so scared. Um, yeah, I had a blast. People have complaints about I mean, I think there's a degree to which sure complaints are warranted. I think people who are like 1 star fan service, blah, are being ridiculous. This movie is so much fun. Um, yeah, I can't
I've
wait till you
I've
see it and we can talk
never
about it more.
I've never had FOMO to this degree about a movie. And I
Yeah.
mean that. I mean that in every word that I say. I've never
Yeah.
had FOMO to this degree. Everybody that I know who's seen it has loved it. People whose
Yeah.
opinions I value, whose tastes are in line with mine.
Yeah.
My good friend Dan has texted me today going, look, it's a mark of a real fucking quality movie when you're still thinking about it, a
Yeah.
couple of days after you've seen it. And I've stayed completely spoiler free. I've seen one fucking trailer and
Yeah.
24 hours, just 24 hours to go.
Yeah, and I think like the thing about this movie is that it kind of transcends the spoiler anyway.
Okay.
That like obviously you don't want to know what happens, but like if
No.
someone were to let something slip, that's not where the enjoyment of this movie comes from because it is such
Yeah.
a tense ride and it's yeah, it just sucks you completely and it's engulfing. You are a part of what's going on in this movie and it feels
Oh,
someone was pointing out on Blue Sky, it's like this is a movie made by someone who is not trying to, um, like basically who is a fan, right? And who loves the original movies and who doesn't like loathe where it's gone since then and is trying to bridge
yeah.
these different parts of the franchise
Yeah.
and do so lovingly. And I think it really succeeds in doing that in a lot of really cool ways. So I can't wait till you see that and we can like really get into it. Maybe, I mean, you have to go on vacation soon. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk about it
This
before
week.
you leave
Yeah.
and record something maybe during a let's play or something like that. Just talk through this movie. We'll see, but boy, I cannot wait for you to see it. I have FOMO
Superb.
for you.
Yeah. Cannot wait. It's gonna make me complete. Uh,
Yes, I
yes,
think so.
about time.
It's what you need.
Yep, I completely agree. What else have you seen?
I also went to the movies again today because I've wanted to see Trap, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. And movies come and go so quickly in the theaters. It didn't come to the indie theaters, only at the AMC. So I was like, I have to get to this before it's gone. If you don't know, Trap,
See, that is it is wild to me that you will beat a path to the fucking theater to see an M. Night movie in 2024.
I
Because
mean, I like to see any
it feels
horror
like you
movie in
could
the
just wait
theater.
to pick that one up on TV.
I don't do that. I love to see a horror movie in the theater. If it's
Yeah, yeah,
there,
yeah,
I'm going. You
yeah.
know, like unless it's like really doesn't appeal to me or has terrible word of mouth. If there's a horror movie in the theater, I have always in my entire
Mm.
adult life gone and seen it in the movie theater. And so yeah, I was like, I'm going to go see Trap, which is a movie in which Josh Hartnett plays a father taking his daughter to a performance of, you know, kind of the Taylor Swift of the Shyamalan universe.
Okay.
And while there finds out that this is a trap that has been set for a serial killer that they know is going to be in attendance, and that serial killer is him. And
Holy
so
shit.
you're watching him try to figure out how he is going to get out of this concert, knowing that they have covered every exit, every possible way to get out of there,
Right. M.
and
Night
stop
films
him.
that are only one word titles. Go.
Old
Signs,
signs,
old, trap,
trap, yep.
split,
Split, glass.
unbreakable, glass.
Yeah.
Are they all one word
Uh,
apart from the Sixth Sense?
no, because then there's the village, and the
Yeah.
woman in the water.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could argue too that Unbreakable, Split, and Glass are all in the same like franchise or whatever, so that's why they all have a one-word title. And obviously the full title of Old is The Beach That Makes You Old.
Of course it is. That's a really long title, isn't it?
Yeah, he's really got to learn to cut it down, realistically.
The
Um,
beach
yeah, the
that makes you old when you go on the beach. Not young anymore.
it's
A
beautiful.
piece just
He should really
wrote
be contracting out the soundtracks to you.
the theme song.
That's what it's missing. If it were an 80s movie, it would absolutely have that exact theme over the end credits.
I would want Insane Clown Posse to do it.
That's more of like if it was made in 2002.
Yeah, 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 of
It's
course.
like Ghost Ship and Mudvayne. But yeah, Trap was listen, it is better than a lot of Shyamalan offerings. And I think my thing with it is it was it was fun, and I think this movie will be in my rotation at Halloween time every year. Like it's a good little like mindless, fun, tense thriller of sorts, you know? So yeah, I like on a like basic level, like this is a fun ride. Absolutely. Get into it. It doesn't have like a dumb twist or anything like that, like
Oh, I was
most
about to
Shyamalan movies
I was about to guess
do.
the
Yeah,
twist.
yeah. There's no crazy twist in it. It is the movie you
Is
think that
there
it's going to
not?
be. No, yeah, it's
Oh,
just.
that's disappointing.
I'm happy for it. The twist is M. Night Shyamalan didn't put a twist in his movie. It's the
That's
movie you think it's
disappointing.
going to be.
Boo.
Um, no, I think it works out really well that it's
I was gonna say,
straightforward.
like, maybe, oh, is the real killer like his wife who he's
Right, yeah,
covering
like
for? Is it the
I
mum,
had started a big like I had kind of a viral-ish blue sky post
Oh, really?
in which I made a comment about, that there will be a dumb twist in this movie and that people were spitballing dumb twists for it. But I think most of us, our assumption, we're going to be like, it's somehow the daughter. The daughter is going to be the serial
Yeah,
killer.
yeah, yeah.
It's
A
not. It's
viral
him.
blue sky post, so 9 reposts.
9 reposts on it, right? Dude, I had one a couple weeks ago that like I had to mute it because it was like I got like thousands of likes and reposts on it. And I was like, I didn't even know there were that many people here. How did this happen?
Mm.
So yeah, anyway. But yeah, I think my thing with this movie is it has like very silly flaws to it. Like for one, it feels kind of incomplete. Like the sound design isn't very good, so there's a lot of times when you're like there should be more sounds happening than there are. And
Yeah.
it sounds too empty. There's a part where the daughter is like filming something on her cell phone, but they didn't bother to put anything on the phone. It's clearly off. Like
Oh,
there's just like
ouch.
weird post-production stuff in this that you're like,
Ouch.
eh. Also it's got like standard M. Night dialogue that like you're like, has he ever met a human person
Mm.
before? People don't talk like that. Um, yeah, there's like little like things like that you can quibble with and stuff like that. But if you're just looking for like kind of a fun, tense movie where you get to see hot dad Josh Hartnett be a
Mm.
deviant serial killer and at one point take off his shirt for no reason except a nod to the audience like, hey, thanks for being here.
Nice.
It is a fun ride that I say absolutely watch. You don't have to go see it in the theater, but absolutely watch Trap. It's a fun time.
I am looking forward to stealing it.
Yes, right.
Just absolutely,
Um,
unashamedly thefting it off the internet. What I'm gonna do?
yeah. And I think, yeah, it's worth your $0. You'll have fun enough time with it, you know.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, as we've said many, many times, I even though like I probably like one in every 10 of his movies, you gotta respect the fucking hustle. Is he in
Right.
it? Has he managed to insert
Of
himself in
course,
it like
yeah.
he does? Yeah, there
Also,
we go.
the
Good,
singer
good,
is
good.
his daughter.
Oh,
That's
fuck,
another
all
one
right.
of the sort of flaws of this movie is that she sings great, beautiful voice. Her
Yeah.
acting, eh.
Not so much.
And probably the casting would have been a little better if it was someone other than his daughter. But again, like you're like, listen, this is a guy who wants to help his kids out, give them a leg up, and you get it.
Yeah.
And so he does have a cameo in this, but it's not like Signs where he's like the pivotal like scene of the movie or anything like that. You know, he is just sort of a guy in it.
Okay. All right.
The only other thing that I watched this week, I asked you to put Waterworld on the Plex
Yes.
for me. Um, I'm not sure exactly what it was that like said to my brain you need to watch Waterworld, but it was,
Well, you were kind of left to your own devices in a hotel room, weren't you?
yeah, that might have been the
That's
case.
the
That
mind
wasn't even when I
wanders, the
watched
mind
it.
plays tricks on you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely, you're right. That was what was going on when I was like just sitting there like half asleep watching Citizen Kane in a hotel room. And for some reason while watching one of the greatest movies of all time, I was like, I need Waterworld. And texted you about that. No, I had never seen Waterworld before. I think, I'd seen
That's even
pieces of
stranger.
it.
That's of all the fucking times to decide you want to
Right.
commit to
It's like,
Waterworld.
I need to watch this now. I'd seen bits of it on TV because it was definitely one of those ones that was airing all the time when I was a kid, but I'd never seen this thing from start to finish before.
Mm. I've never
But
seen
I
it, by the way.
have, you've never seen it?
Nah.
Yeah. I'm not about to recommend it. Just FYI.
Okay.
But I have seen the Waterworld live stunt spectacular at Universal Studios dozens of times. If you have never seen it before,
And is
this
that still there?
worth the
Surely to
price
hell
of
that's not
admission.
still
It's the
there.
longest running attraction at Universal Studios. It's
Well,
been there for nearly
fuck
30
my
years now.
boots.
Yes, and it's incredible. It is worth
Like
going to
long
Universal
after
Studios.
Waterworld has ceded
Yeah,
from the cultural
right.
consciousness.
It is, yeah, like more people have probably gone to this attraction at this
Yeah, yeah,
point than
by
have
now.
seen Waterworld. It's worth the price of admission just for that show. It is so goddamn fun. If you're from Southern California, you probably have like the opening dialogue of it memorized. Like it's so great. In fact, oh, you'll love this. So the thing about Universal Studios is it's often like a stepping stone for actors, right? A lot of people work there when they want to break into Hollywood, especially on the
Okay.
backlot tour.
Yeah, okay.
But they have stunt shows and all this stuff. It also people supplement their income. Like if you're a Hollywood stuntman, you're not making a ton of money, right? So you can do shows at Universal Studios as like your day job.
Yeah, yeah,
and
okay, cool.
and they're going to make like sort of allowances for, well, we want our people in our shows to be working in Hollywood. So if you need days off to go shoot, they'll give them to you. So it's a really good like symbiotic relationship
Yeah.
that they have going on. As such, they'll go through and they'll be like, at the end of the Waterworld show, they're like, and playing the Mariner is so and so. You've seen him
Right.
on this show, this show, this show, playing so, and they go through and you're like, wow, I'm seeing real actors. My friend Tracy informed me yesterday that one of the guys, he's like, you don't realize this, but I'm sure you've seen him if you've gone to this show a bunch of times, is Christopher Daniels of
Well, the
AEW.
fucking no way.
Yes. And as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, yes, absolutely. Like because it's the person who plays Dennis Hopper's
Yeah.
character in this. And so anytime you see like kind of like a white, bald guy in like Hollywood
Oh, I
doing
love
stunts and
that.
stuff, you're like, yeah, that guy definitely played that role. And so he was like, oh, yeah, fun fact. I was like, that's crazy. I'm sure I've seen him before
That's
many, many
awesome.
times.
Awesome. I wonder if
Yeah,
he's still
right.
doing that.
Huh?
And
I
he's
don't know if
still
he does
doing
it
that. That's
right now because I
okay.
would imagine AEW tours too much for
Yes. And
that to
pays
be
quite
the
well.
case. And pays quite well. Yeah, this would have been more like if he was trying to work as an actor or
Yeah, yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. So it's probably been a minute, but I thought that was very cool.
Yes, you were
So,
correct.
Waterworld Spectacular. Fucking love it. I had a Universal Pass for years, and would just go every single time. Um,
And
and
the film?
honestly, just FYI, underrated. Get a Universal Pass. Don't get a Disneyland Pass. Way better use of your money.
Hmm.
So much more fun. Everybody is more chill because there's alcohol, so the parents aren't as mad all the time as they are at Disneyland. There's all kinds of cool rides. You get a lot of steps in because it's built on a hill, and you get to do the backlot tour, and you never know what's going to be shooting that day. So you end up seeing like cool
Sick.
stuff as a
Yeah, that
result.
is cool. Maybe we
Um,
can go when I'm there. Maybe we can pop
yeah,
over
we'll
for the
just pop
afternoon.
over to Hollywood
That's
and go check
feasible,
out
yeah.
Universal.
It's the same country. It can't be far.
Yeah, how far could it possibly be? Um, but all that to say, seen that a million times, never seen Waterworld. So I sat down to it last night when I finished doing things. What I didn't realize, this is not the first time this has happened. This also happened with The Abyss. Was that you downloaded the super extended cut of
Um,
this movie. And so I was like, Jesus Christ, 3 hours? Okay. Uh and so like I can't believe this is a 3 hour movie. It's not. The movie is supposed to be like 2 hours and 15 minutes, but I watched a 3 hour version of it.
fuck.
And it is boring and
Yeah, wasn't it
confusing.
like complete derided like hell upon release?
Oh,
Wasn't it like
yeah, it is
savaged?
deeply considered a terrible movie. And it is. It's like a baffling movie though. So it's like there's something interesting in that things that happen throughout this movie don't move the plot forward at all. So it's like you've just kind of got like these characters drifting around on the water and like every now and again meeting a bad guy who does something like exploitative to them or whatever, and they have to fight them. And it's like that doesn't move anything forward in any way. Nor do I understand the world in which they live anymore because this happened. Why does
Yeah.
everybody have such like vastly different accents? Is Kevin Costner doing an accent? Like what is
Yeah.
happening here? And like then Dennis Hopper is our villain in this. And of course, yeah, you gotta love him. He's great. But he's like, he and his henchmen are in a completely different movie than like Kevin Costner and Gene
Oh, isn't he
Triplehorn and
always
Tina
though? Isn't he
Majorino.
always?
I mean, this is probably true. Yeah. But like he's in like some sort of slapstick, like OG Super Mario kind of movie.
Yeah.
Uh, and they're in like a very serious sea epic. But then there's also like weird moments of like comedy, to use the term loosely, in it as well. It is a deeply bizarre movie, and I'm not mad I watched it just because it's
Yeah.
so baffling that I feel like I needed to see it with my own eyes. I've
Yeah.
just never seen anything like it.
It's it feels like a kind of a proto Avatar type of
Yeah, right. Like,
deal.
and it's certainly trying to do like a Cameron for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's that's the thing about Kevin Costner, bless him, is like he loves an epic and he's passionate about making epics, and he always executive produces his stuff, but they're all boring as shit and unnecessary. Like, oh, Dad, why don't you just retire and play some golf? And he's like, no, I need to make a 5-part
Yeah.
Western set of epics, you know? Like he's doing what Cameron is doing with Avatar, but with Westerns right now. I don't understand the guy.
No.
And he's a baffling
Well, I
leading
mean,
man.
he is, and I'd find it tough to kind of define the niche.
Right.
What if I were to ask you what's a Kevin Costner movie?
Like, yeah,
You
it's
couldn't.
not like there's not a thing he
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
It's very bizarre. Like he is
You could
just
you could describe a Bruce Willis movie from the 90s. You could
right.
describe a
Yes.
Nicolas Cage movie from the
Hmm.
90s, but you couldn't describe a Kevin Costner movie from the 90s.
No, absolutely not. It's yeah, he was just a very strange leading man who it feels like
Mm.
I don't know, I think maybe the fact that he got into producing kind of early helped to keep him a leading man maybe
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
than he
yeah.
would have been. Um yeah, seems like a nice guy and everything. Went to the same university as me, but yeah, I it's just a weird guy, weird movie.
Weird
Don't necessarily
choice.
recommend Waterworld, but hey, if you're like doing other things and you want to occasionally look up and go, "What?"
The fuck?
It's there for you. All
Nice.
3
Okay.
hours of it.
Yeah. Do you know the only reason I downloaded that cut was because it was the only one I could find.
Yeah, this is the same way that I discovered that the Abyss one was an extended cut too, was because I was reading friends' letterboxed reviews and someone happened to say, I watched the 3 hour extended cut, and I was like, oh. And the same thing with the Abyss. I was reading letterboxed reviews and someone was like, I watched the 3 hour extended cut. And I was like, fuck me. Okay, that explains a lot. So it's like this
Well,
movie
look,
is way too long.
if you're gonna watch it, fucking watch it all.
I guess do it the way the director wanted you to watch it.
You wouldn't want to go to your grave knowing that there was an hour and a half of Waterworld that you hadn't experienced.
I might have been able to come to terms with it by death. Yeah. You only got to one thing this week, huh, Mark? But
Yes,
a
I
but a
did.
good time.
Oh, good doesn't come close. So I'm determined to get my money's worth and to fully realize my vision of summer and autumn backyard movies, right?
Yes, so good.
I've got the fucking kit. I'm gonna goddamn use it. And I don't think I could have possibly made a better choice. We had a little poll in the family about what we were gonna watch next. And the some of the picks were we could have done Jurassic Park, we could have done Beverly Hills Cop. Um, there were a few other picks, but Back to the Future was in the poll,
Nice.
and we voted for Back to the Future.
Mhm.
And you know, if if you if you if you really want magic, if you want fucking actual cinematic magic, then you can't you're not going to find it anywhere in a more truer sense in this fucking movie. Back to the Future
Nice.
is magical. And set and setting are vital in a movie, of course.
Right.
And in the night with bugs flying, past the lamp of the projector and everyone in blankets drinking hot
It's
chocolate.
so good.
And the film is incredible, right? I everybody knows that Back to the Future is brilliant, right? Everybody's got
Sure.
affection for Back to the
Hmm.
Future. Um, but I wonder, or it feels quite rare to revisit a film that you've got such affection for and to find that it's better than that. It's even better
Yeah,
than you
totally.
thought it was. Your memory of the memory of that film, it's actually better than your memory of it. Uh, it's just this the every element of it works. That incredible soundtrack, the brilliant fucking dialogue and screenplay, the amazing performances, the wonderful, wonderful fucking relationship between Doc and Mai. And it's so underwritten, that relationship,
Hmm.
particularly in that first film. The affection between the two of them builds, in the past. and pays off in the future, and i.e. the present. And
Right.
there's such a lot of subtlety in what Christopher Lloyd does in that film that you don't fucking you think Doc Brown is this broad kind of slapstick mad scientist performance, but there's such a lot of fucking subtlety in what he does and how underwritten it is. Um, he does such a lot with his eyes and with his face that tell you that Doc Brown is actually super, you know, he struggles with his own kind of he never feels he's fulfilled his potential. He's never invented anything that works, and it preys on him. And his relationship with Marty is a physical kind of embodiment of his one success.
Mm.
You know what I mean? The DeLorean's the only thing he's ever made that worked, you know?
Right.
And his bond with Marty is based on that fucking feeling, that dream of fulfilling his own potential. It's fucking great. And the last half hour, when it builds and builds and builds, and everything that you think could go wrong with their plan goes wrong, and the dance, it looks as though Biff is gonna fucking wreck everything, and the cable comes unplugged, and everything is just on a hair trigger. If one thing goes wrong, it's all fucked, and Marty's future is fucked. But everything just slots in at the last possible second and goes right. And then that ending, when it just blends into the second movie, fuck me, man. Back to the Future is absolute just beauty. It is a beautiful piece of work. I fucking loved it. And the
I have
kids
to
loved it,
rewatch
and
it. It's
Laura
been
loved
a
it.
minute since I mean,
Oh,
it was one of the first DVDs that I bought when I was in college and stuff like that.
mm,
I've seen it many times, but not in a good while. And now you're making me want to sit down
it
and actually enjoy it again.
yes, I through adult eyes. And by that, I mean not even 20-year-old adult eyes, not even
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
30-year-old
Like
adult eyes, but kind of
actual adult eyes.
actual adult eyes. There is way more going on in that movie. Uh, would it get made in 2024? Fuck no. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. There's problems.
because when you strip away all of the fantastic cinematic things it's doing, right? What we'll do, I'll molest you in a car, mom, and
Right.
then dad can punch me, and then everything will be fine.
Yeah.
That's kind
Right.
of
Dad, the
right.
peeping Tom who we're rooting for.
Obviously, some of the thematic elements might not fly today.
Hmm.
But it was the 80s.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
indeed.
and look, as a film, it is a full package. It is fucking brilliant, and it was just a joy. It properly goosebumps and a fucking lump in the throat. It was just a brilliant, brilliant film.
Amazing. I gotta rewatch
Yep.
that. Maybe that'll be my reward when I turn in this stupid assignment tonight. I will then
Mm,
watch Back to the Future.
that would be a great move.
I think that's a perfect Sunday night. Get all cozy. I just washed my bedding, take a shower,
Oh, that is
curl
nice.
up with some Back to the Future.
Yeah, that is nice. And turn your phone off. Turn your phone off. Don't kind of watch
Yeah,
it over
don't
your screen.
scroll.
Just properly. Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah. Just drink it,
Love
drink it in, drink it in.
it. Do you have a question for us to close
Uh,
out this fine week?
I actually don't. So this is looking like our first non 2 hour episode in probably
In
a
a
couple of
long
years.
time.
A
Yeah.
long time, yes. But again,
Uh,
the week, oh, the week. Um, what I will say, yeah, you had a Richard Herring, British comedian.
Sounds familiar.
Richard Herring. So he used to be part of a double act with the greatest comedian living in Britain at the minute, Stuart Lee.
Stuart Lee.
Lee, yes.
I
Um,
know you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Richard Herring has a very successful podcast, which he records live in the Leicester Square Theatre weekly. I don't know if it's still going. I think it is. But yeah, any
I
any
definitely
comedian who's
recognize him.
anybody has, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anybody who's anybody has been on Richard Herring's podcast. And he has a list of emergency questions,
Ooh.
um, which he asks his guests when there's a lull in the conversation. And I'm just looking down some of them. And all right, okay, don't think, just
Okay.
answer, right? Don't think, just answer.
Okay.
What celebrity would you like to be stroking your head as you die? Either can be alive or dead. I don't care.
I like stroking my head as I die. Um, um, oh God. I don't
Right,
like this
taking
is
too
dark.
long. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Do you
know. Do
think
you
that
have
there
one?
is just off the top of my head, let me think. David Lynch.
Oh, okay. That's a good choice. I like that. Go
Yes.
on.
Do you think that there are any true conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Give me one.
Oh, it's like, oh, off the top. Um, I don't know. I think we don't necessarily know them if they are
All right
true.
then. Have you ever
Maybe
been
Jeffrey
mistaken
Epstein
for?
didn't kill himself. Let's go with that one.
Yeah. I think that's commonly accepted as fact
Right. Yep.
by now, isn't it? Um, have you ever been rude to a celebrity?
Have I ever been rude to a celebrity? I have. I once accidentally knocked Seth Green over. Does that count as being rude?
I have a picture in my head of Seth Green as being really short. Is he
He's
super short?
tiny. Yeah, he's like an inch
Shorter
shorter
than
than
you?
me and like
Holy
probably weighs
shit.
70 pounds less than I do.
Wow. So you could fucking send him.
I yeah, I was like a giantess in comparison, and I just was looking the opposite direction. He was walking with the girl who played Tink in the guild, and I can't remember who else he was with. Just
Was
came around a
that
corner and just knocked him off his feet.
what's her name? What's that girl called?
I can't remember. I cannot remember what her name was. It's been a decade or so, and I'm sure she's
Yeah.
been in other stuff since then, but I don't know. It's kind of niche nerd stuff,
All right,
probably.
more. Have you committed any crimes that you've not previously admitted to?
No, not that interesting.
Okay. Uh, who could you have assassinated?
Oh, who could I have assassinated?
Yeah, who do you think maybe you would like to have assassinated?
Trump.
Nice. Which is oh, which is worse, bestiality or necrophilia?
Bestiality. We've already
Okay.
been through my feeling on necrophilia.
Yeah, we have. Okay, let's have one more.
Which, if you didn't listen to that, by the way, it's not that I'm pro necrophilia. It's just that I think that
It
it's
did tell it you didn't even take a beat.
it's just simply that I think that like a dead person is less bothered by it than a living one. That's all.
Uh, there are some of these are awful and some of them quite interesting. If you were the prime minister slash president, could you use a nuclear weapon?
No.
Okay. Would you consider sex with a ghost as cheating on your partner?
Ah. Yeah. Are you
Okay.
in love with the ghost?
It doesn't say. That's up to you.
I think
Does it make a
there's
difference? Does it
caveats.
matter?
I think there's caveats here.
Have you ever been attacked by an animal?
Mm, I don't know that I would say attacked, not like in a ferocious way.
Okay. Jesus, there's fucking thousands of these.
It's a
Uh,
fun little rapid fire quiz here.
it is. Some of them are awful. I'll send you the link. Some of them are absolutely awful. Let's have one more.
Sure.
Do. Who? Yeah, perfect for you. Who do you consider to have been the best one of Jesus's disciples?
um uh I don't know that I have an answer for that, to be honest with you. They're all kind
All
of
right.
shitheads in their own way.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, so,
Well, I'll say it's Thomas because he doubted.
man, you just can't get him to believe in anything, can you?
Fucking
That Thomas guy.
Thomas, you know.
I'm not sure about that. Fucking shit that he says. Listen, that's all out of me. I mean, you got anything you want to fucking send us off on?
uh no.
What an
I
abrupt
think
end.
listen, every now and again we're due one of those. Just
Yeah, that's
well,
true. That's true.
big gulps, huh?
See ya.
See you later.
What about that local sports team?
And
Stay
stay
spooky.
spooky.